Hello, hello, hello. It's coffee time again, and I have not looked at the news this morning. Not looked at it at all. So, oops. Oh dear. We have Just Stop Oil and the public fighting with them again. This is the lead story. This is a woman pleading with them to get out of the way so she can get to the airport. And this fella, he's taking it into his own hands. So they're still at it. They're still at it. They'd be better off protesting outside Parliament. Where was that? It was in Marylebone Road in central London. There you go. It's some pretty good action scenes. See, the people aren't having it. It's funny because when they did it at the was it Gay Pride that they protested, the police came along and removed them. But when it's regular people, nothing happens. What's that all about, eh? It's almost like there's rules for some people and no rules for others. Yes. Medical news. This is quite remarkable. We're going to Israel. Just waiting for the page to refresh. Yeah, this is a story coming out of Israel about a young boy, 12-year-old Palestinian, Suleiman Hassan from the West Bank. Right, he suffered an internal decapitation. That's where the base of your skull becomes detached from your spine. Right, but your head still stays on. Ugh, doesn't even, that's internal decapitation. Total decapitation, where it pops off completely, and it's usually caused by sudden impact, like car crashes and things like that. And the injury is very rare. Apparently, it accounts for less than 1% of spinal injuries. Doctors said that Suleiman's head was almost completely detached from the base of his neck. Here he is with his doctors because he underwent life-saving surgery. There they are. That's at Hadassah Medical Centre, and it's good because you've obviously got two Jewish doctors there saving a Palestinian boy. What would Roger Waters make of that? I don't know. I think his head would fly off. It would become totally decapitated. Yeah, it's amazing surgery they did. He went under painstaking surgery that took several hours. Suleiman was riding his bike when a car hit him, and he was airlifted to Hadassah Ein Kerem's trauma unit in Jerusalem and immediately put to surgery. And this was in early June, but the Jerusalem hospital waited a month to announce his results because they wanted to make sure it was fixed. But yeah, when it comes to internal decapitation, they reckon 70% of victims die instantly or en route to hospital. So he had a lucky escape. Dr. Hoed Einav, one of the surgeons who operated, said, "We fought for the boy's life," as he spoke to the Times of Israel. But yeah, the injury is treated by fusing the skull and spinal cord together using rods and screws and plates. Even bone grafts are used. Dr. Mark Siegel, clinical professor of medicine and practicing internist at the New York University Langone Medical Center, spoke of the surgery. He called it amazing. There we go. And Dr. Einav, who took part, said the procedure itself is very complicated. It took several hours. And while in the operating room, we used new plates and fixations in the damaged area. Our ability to save the child was thanks to our knowledge and the most innovative technology in the operating room. And Suleiman has been discharged with a cervical splint, and the doctors will continue to monitor his recovery. He has no neurological deficits or sensory or motor dysfunction and can walk without help. Meanwhile, Suleiman's father, who stayed by his son's bedside throughout the entire incident, said of the doctors, "I will thank you all of my life for saving my dear only son. Bless you all. Thanks to you, he's regained his life even when the odds were low and the danger was obvious." What saved him were professionalism, technology and quick decision making by the trauma and orthopaedics team. All I can say is a big thank you. Wow. But yeah, in one 2015 study, internal decapitation was 3 times more common in children than in adults. There you go. Oh, this is coming out of China. It's not a good story, but it's how they deal with law and order. This is the story of Wang Yang. Everybody Wang Yang tonight? No, I'm not going to do that one. She was a female kindergarten teacher, and she poisoned 25 children. One of whom she killed by contaminating their porridge in revenge after she had a row with a colleague. Blimey, leave it outside the door. She poisoned young students from the Meng Preschool Education Centre in Guangzhou 4 years ago. Yeah, she poisoned the pupils' breakfasts. It was a colleague's pupils, not her own pupils, with sodium nitrate. It was reported at the time. The teacher unsuccessfully appealed the death sentence, but on Thursday, she was escorted to the execution ground, which carried out the death sentence. So yeah, they executed her. That's how you deal with it, isn't it? That's how you deal. But blimey, talk about lose your temper. Temper. Good news, everybody. There's summer holiday chaos. Of course there is. As Gatwick Airport announces 8 days of strikes. Yes, of course. So any of you jetting overseas will find it difficult. It's going to be a difficult summer. 4-day strike by 1,000 Gatwick Airport workers. And this coincides with thousands of flights being accidents. Sweltering heat wave, 48, nearly 49 degree heat wave in Europe. Yeah, so members of Unite will walk out for 4 days from the July the 28th and again for 4 days from August the 4th. The union said the action will inevitably cause disruption to flights at the height of the summer holiday season. Good for you. So yeah, and this was queues at Gatwick this morning. Don't go anywhere. Stay at home. Staycation. Have you thought about that? Meanwhile, this is medical news. Tick bites. Yeah, tick bites. If you get bitten by a tick, it can leave you allergic to red meat. Yeah. This is a very strange story. The alert comes after a Czech man, right, a 68-year-old who lived in the city of Pilsen, who was unaware that he'd even been bitten by a tick, suffered a cardiac arrest. Right? The man, who wasn't identified, was suddenly struck down with anaphylaxis after tucking into his dinner of spicy pork kidneys. Wouldn't eat the mushrooms. That's an old joke. So yeah, he'd actually inadvertently developed an allergy to meat. And his wife found him gasping in the chair, struggling to breathe, and his heart temporarily stopped. This case was described in the European Journal of Case Reports in Internal Medicine, one of our favourite journals. And he was taken in poor condition to the local hospital. And when they were gathering medical history, his wife mentioned that he felt itchy after his lunch, and they began to suspect he had an allergic reaction, which is blamed for his condition. And blood tests suggested that he indeed suffered from anaphylaxis, an allergic reaction that can be fatal. And they did test for an antibody. It's alpha-gal syndrome, or red meat allergy, because it's triggered by a specific sugar of the same name, which is found in mammals like pork, beef, rabbit, lamb and venison. But yeah, sufferers have to stay away from like meat products, but also away from dairy and gelatin products, which also contains alpha-gal. So yeah, and I reckon it's triggered by tick bites. And what triggers it, again, they're still trying to figure out what's the cause of it. And they're trying to figure out it's to do with the tick's saliva, which affects the immune system. There you go. It's not good, is it? Put me right off me pork sausages. What else have we got here? Meanwhile, from the land of stupid, this is, I guess you call them thrill seekers. Here they are. On a live volcano. This is Mount Fagradalsfjall. Of course it is. Of course it is. And yeah, this is Darwinism in action. Because remember, those volcanoes, not only do they throw out the lava and extreme heat, but they also throw out toxic gases which can overcome you. Yeah, it's the volcano located on Mount Fagradalsfjall. Yeah, it's become active. This is in Iceland, by the way, not the shop, the place. Lava has been snaking its way down from the side of the mountain, which is 20 miles from the country's main airport in Keflavik. And people have gone up there to well, take pictures. And here's some dramatic footage of the activity in the area. Blimey, it looks warm, doesn't it? It looks a bit toasty. And of course, thrill seekers have been there taking pictures and walking amongst the lava. I tell you, there's all kinds of stupid out in the world. Meanwhile, if you want heat, don't worry about volcanoes, go to Death Valley. Death Valley is forecast to record Earth's hottest ever temperature of 131 degrees Fahrenheit on Sunday. Right? So yeah, Death Valley in California is already the hottest place on Earth. But the National Weather Service is forecasting that they're going to reach a high of 131 near the Furnace Creek Visitors Centre, and this will mark a world record. There was a previous world record of 134, which was taken in 1913, but this has been regarded as bogus. Right, it's been disputed for decades. Christopher Burt told Climate Collections in July 2021 that the old Death Valley record from July 1913 is 100% bogus. So yeah, it's going to get quite toasty there. So there you go. That's the Furnace Creek Visitor Centre. Is it warm in here, or is it just me? And here's a rather dramatic weather map. Look at that, it's all gone red. Blimey, it's hotter than the Mediterranean. So there you go. Meanwhile, we're facing wet and windy conditions over the weekend, which is just good. It's good, really. We don't want it really, really hot. Oh, found our new place, missus. Found our new place. We've been thinking too small. I've been thinking bungalow, something no stairs. We want to think big, right? Yeah. How about this? Berg Island. It's 250 metres off Devon. The nearest UK land point is Bigbury-on-Sea. 250 metres off the coast is Berg Island, with its own hotel, and it looks quite fancy. Look at that! Oh, we could run that. It'd be like 40 towers, wouldn't it? Yeah, I could be Basil 40. It'd be great. Oh, blimey, it looks fantastic. Art Deco. Look at that. It's undergone major refurbishment over the last 5 years, and it has permission for an extra 12 guest bedrooms. Ooh, fancy. Oh yeah. So we get all this. It's got 25 ensuite guest bathrooms, 2 restaurants, a sauna, and a billiards hall. That's important. And don't forget the Pilchard Inn Cafe. It's the island's only pub, which was built in 1336, which is about 25 to 2, if my maths is correct. And there it is, off the coast there. Fantastic. What do you reckon? Do you think we should put a bid in? Wonder how much it is. You having a guess? How much? No, not even close. It's quite reasonable actually when you think about what you get for your money. You know. Oh, some of the sites are just, look at that. Look at that. That's the thing. Why go anywhere when you can visit the UK? We've got some amazing places. Anyway, on the market for a cool 15 million quid, the entire island. There you go. 15 million. Now imagine if you won the Euro Millions, right? You know, say that there's a big jackpot. Buy that. I'd buy that. I would. I'd buy that. I'm going to buy it if I win the Euro Millions. I'm going to put the Euro Millions on tonight. What do you reckon? Meanwhile, good news everybody, there's an urgent measles warning for London. Health chiefs reckon there could be an outbreak which could hit 160,000 people because people aren't being vaccinated, because you know vaccines are bad, aren't they? Yeah, vaccines are bad. Again, Darwinism in action. Those people who don't get vaccinated, just ignore them, right, and they'll go away. But the rest of us who have been vaccinated, we'll still be here, spreading on our superior genetic material. So, just between you and me, shh, let's not encourage them. Let's get rid of those stupid people, huh? Meanwhile, Emily Maitlis, she's been busy blasting ex-BBC colleagues for distasteful reporting over the Hugh Edwards scandal. She's even been going after Victoria Derbyshire. Because it's amazing. There's been a lot of people going, you know, here's Hugh Edwards. A lot of people saying, what he's been doing, there's nothing wrong. It's his private life. But we live in a society now where I call it the pornification of society, where anything goes, everything's fine, and it's the normal that we normalise incredibly dubious behaviour and go, that's okay. But yeah, apparently Maitlis isn't happy about it. Oh well, that's a shame. But you know, we had to see Hugh Edwards' arse on Twitter, didn't we? It wasn't good. It wasn't good. It wasn't a good picture. Let's see if I can find a censored picture. Here we go. Here's a censored picture. Some of us, look, we had to look at that. Look, he's got his trousers right down. Look, pants and all, look. Maybe. See, I've got a feeling he's asking the person on the other end, is that a boil? Is that a boil I got there? That's what I think's really going on. But it's perfectly normal. Remember that. And we're the wrong ones for questioning it and calling him a dirty old bastard. Because he is dirty old bastard. Oh dear. Meanwhile, the parents at the centre of the Hugh Edwards scandal have been filmed for a Talk TV documentary. That's nice. That's nice. Meanwhile, Director General Tim Davie has convened an emergency meeting at the BBC because he wants to know why he hadn't been told about the explosive allegations against Hugh Edwards. Because it's normal, it's fine. Everything's fine. Everything's fine. Oh boy, oh boy. And today the WHO, not the horrible WHO, the other WHO, the World Health Organization, have published their report on aspartame, and they've said while it is a carcinogen, it does not pose a cancer risk at current consumption levels. Got the wrong teeth in, right? Let me just put them in properly. That's better. Barcelona. Yeah, apparently you've got to drink under 14 cans of Diet Coke a day. I'm not even getting close to that. Apparently current safe limits are 40 milligrams per kilogram body weight per day. So an 11 stone adult would need to drink 14 cans of diet soft drink, and that would contain 200 milligrams of aspartame. And again, if you're fatter, you can drink even more Coke, haven't you? Even more Coke. And here's some of the products that you can find with aspartame in. So it's bad for you, but you've really got to knock it back. So that's good to know. Phew, I was worried. I was having me little can of Sprite Zero. I love diet lemonade, me. Oh. Sprite, if you're out there, you want to sponsor me? I could have some of that. Oh, what else have we got? Here we go. Do you like whistling at women? Do you like going, oi, oi, darling? Might never happen. Give us a smile, love. Yeah? Do you do that? Well, you better watch out, because there are undercover police squads watching you. There's a scheme in Redbridge Borough, just down the road. That way. Not that way. That way's Enfield. That way's Redbridge. And they're going to get you, and you're going to be issued with £100 fine for men. What? Okay, what if it's women doing it? What if women do it to men? Does it go the other way? You know? What if a woman drives past me when I'm walking a dog and she goes, you know, eye up, sweet cheeks? Do I get to report her? Because it could happen. It could, in a fantasy land, but it could happen. But yeah, Chief Inspector Louise Jackson, who leads on violence against women and girls in East London, she's running the scheme and is in no doubt that it's going to expand across the capital. She said the focus at the moment is about educating men and young males about putting stop to this behaviour. Issues, miserable old git. Do you know, in the old days, how many relationships were started with a casual, oi, oi, you look tasty, you know? Now, swipe right. Just got to swipe right. And yeah, she said what we're saying now is about educational and a generational change. Yeah, all right. And it's funny because when women get a little bit older, you know, when they start, I don't know, heading towards 40, they love being whistled at. They love catcalls. It's true. I love it. No, yeah, okay. It's ridiculous because there are real crimes out there. But again, we do need to behave ourselves, men. We do need to behave ourselves. But, yeah. Oh dear. Whistling and catcalling is now an offence. I do think I've woken up in some sort of weird clown world. But this isn't how, you know, women get like raped or murdered. Men don't go oi oi love as they hit them over the head with a hammer. I don't think Levi Belfield whistled at them as he clubbed them to death. They're a bit. I think again this is it's being seen to be doing something. You know, again, catcalling is bad. I was joking, but this is ridiculous. This is daft. What if I whistle at the missus? Over here. And I've done it. Oi, oi, oi. Am I going to get a fine? I don't know about that. And we've got another case of stay at home. This is at Alton Towers, at the Smiler attraction. Here you go. Just stay at home. The roller coaster appears to break down, leaving the thrill seekers dangling in midair. The ultimate thrill. They could say it's all part of the ride, couldn't they? You wouldn't know about it. It's all part of the ride. This was yesterday when somebody caught the Smiler getting stuck, and it's one of the theme park's most popular attractions. And it was launched in 2013, so it's 10 years old now. Probably need a bit of WD-40 on it. That's what it needs. A little bit of WD-40. But yeah, it was absolute mayhem. 3-hour queues, and people on social media. One woman said that their day out, end of year treat for her daughter had been ruined by the fiasco because it had knock-on effects. But yeah, so of course Alton Towers has had problems in the past, and just never get me on one of those things anyway. Crazy. Meanwhile, one fella, this is a unique position to be in, one fella has taken a photograph at the barber shop for 50 years. Sam Farr, who's now 78, has been going to the same barbers since 1973, and where he started taking the pictures. There you go. And carried on. That was 1995, 2007, 2015, 2023. Good. He's lucky he's still got his hair, isn't he? Because if it was me, I'd have just given up in the early 2000s. I just would have stopped, wouldn't it? So he's lucky he kept his hair. Does he get a discount? That's what we want to know. Does he get a discount for that? But yeah, Sam previously worked for the Bath Evening Chronicle and has never changed his hairstyle. He's kept his aging Beatles, he calls them aging Beatles look. The Beatles! And he visits Giuseppe's of Bath. Oh, that's expensive. Which he's been going there since the 1970s. There you go. I wonder if they've still got the Paul mags on the table from the 1970s. That made it worthwhile going to the barbers. People forget that. People forget. Just me then. Okay, just me. Meanwhile, one woman, Zoe Coles from Lincolnshire, is panicking because she's suffering from foreign accents syndrome. Yeah, she woke up and found herself she'd developed a strong Welsh accent despite never even being there, and she fears the distinctive accent is stuck on, and she's been like it for 6 weeks. The pub worker, who originally developed a German accent before it morphed into Welsh, believes she's developed foreign accent syndrome, or FAS, F-A-S. And here we go. It's a picture of her. Something there for the dads. Hold it, let me just adjust the picture. There we go. Let's get the cleavage in. That's it. And she's been making videos talking about her foreign accent syndrome. Or she could be putting it on for the clicks. For the clicks. Isn't that right? Meanwhile, we've got Biden watch. He's going up the steps and he had a little stumble there. That was at Vilnius in Lithuania at NATO. Didn't quite go down. Oh, that's today's animal story. Excellent. Oh, this is music news / court news. Alan McGee. There is a rhyme in there somewhere, but you probably know him. He discovered Oasis, didn't he? Do you remember him? He discovered Oasis, and he won a High Court bid, right, against a singer who he slept with. I guess it turned stalky. He said he had a casual sexual relationship with singer Cat Speranza, and here they are. Another dirty old bastard. And it got a bit stalky. He went a bit Fatal Attraction, and she met at a party in 2019, and he signed her and a band to his label. The band is Cat SFX. He said the singer subjects him to a disturbing and appalling campaign of harassment where she falsely claimed he was a racist, a rapist and a paedophile. The record label manager also sued Miss Lewis, who did not attend the hearing and was not represented, for libel and misuse of private information. This was on Thursday, so it was yesterday, and they made default. They wanted to make a default judgment against the singer, and she went a little bit loopy, and she was posting more to 10,000 people on Instagram, Facebook and Twitter, and she using the hashtag #MeToo, to slate him. And there you go. Meanwhile, here's a picture of Noel Gallagher with her. Watch out, Noel. Watch out, Noel. We know you're on the market again. You might want to watch out. You got a crazy one there. So yeah, the judge ruled that Miss Lewis has 28 days to remove the harassing posts and not to repeat them, or provide reasons why the posts should not be removed. So there you go. So yeah, she found in favour of Alan McGee and his harasser. So there you go. It's all going on there, isn't it? Who'd have thunk it? Oh my God! There's another animal story. I've got quite a few animal stories here, and I've got this. It's funny because we've got quite a few. There's so many stories today, and I'm running out of time. I've run out of time, so we'll do this one. We'll do this one first. So. Right, this is residents in East Yorkshire. This is in Thorngumbold, right? A abandoned property, and local residents are really annoyed with the council because look, it's just turned into a dumping ground. So if you think your area is a little bit messy, they're worried that there's gas canisters and who knows what buried in the detritus that's been left there, and the council aren't doing anything about it. There you go. This is an empty home in Thornycroft Road in Thorngumbold. So if you've got anything you need to dump, Thornycroft Road, Thorngumbold, just get down there. Don't bother getting hiring a skip, and just dump your crap there. No? Okay. Meanwhile, if you think you're having a bad day, think about poor Emmanuel Macron, the French president. Here he is. Well, people don't like him. They don't like him. They riot a lot, don't they? Do you know they riot a lot in France. Every week, the French are revolting. No, they've always been that way. But yeah, apparently, Emmanuel Macron received a parcel at the Élysée Palace in Paris on Monday, and when I opened it, inside was a severed human finger. It was sent first class, so it was fresh, but they said, a source at the presidential home said the finger was initially put in the fridge where the police put their snacks. This was to make sure it was well preserved and could be analysed. So I think they got it wrong. What they meant to do was give him the finger, but instead they sent him the finger. I'm here all week, folks. Well, it's Friday. I'm not here tomorrow, but I could be if you paid me, but they never do. Yeah. So the question is, whose finger was it? Whose finger was it? Can you imagine being so angry you cut your own finger off and send it to the Prime Minister or the President? Meanwhile, let's go to Japan. It's all kicking off in Japan. Here we go. They're testing the rocket, and boom! Yeah, it wasn't meant to do that. It exploded. This was the Epsilon S rocket. It failed to launch, and Japanese Aerospace Exploration Agency (JAXA) said we've got no reports of injuries. But yeah, it blew up 50 seconds after ignition on Friday. That's today. Meanwhile, back in Japan, are you looking for? I'm looking for. I think I want to do this job. This is a new book by Shoji Morimoto, who apparently gets paid to do nothing. Here he is, and he's written a book about it. Basically, he's what is it? He gets to. He's one of those rental people. So you go and sit in people's houses, and that's what he does. He just basically gets. He's like a house sitter. And he's written a book about it called "Rental Person Who Does Nothing," out on Picador, $14.99. There you go. So that's going to be a fascinating read. What else have we got? We've got AI art fails. Why not? Let's do some AI art fails. Well, that's you could say this you could say it's made a bit of a boob, isn't it? Okay, what's next? This guy seems to be growing a burger out of the middle of his face. I don't even know what's going on there. AI art, it's not that smart. Oh my god, it's Jake the Peg did little with the extra. You're not. Am I allowed to sing that now? I don't know. Yeah, you can always tell it's odd because of the fingers. And these are celebrities. I think it's meant to be Jennifer Lawrence with a baby, and it's creepy stuff. This guy's got 3 arms. It's very good, except for that extra arm, isn't it? Imagine if that arm wasn't there, it'd be a very good representation of a portrait. What the? That's so wrong, it's right. And too many toes. Again, they can't do fingers, they're no good with toes. And that's one way of holding your umbrella. She never gets wet in a storm. And The Office, as represented by AI. Great show, that. And again, what's it with extra limbs? Either that or he's really well endowed. They called him the tripod. And I don't even know. It's supposed to be a spa shot, but there's vegetables. It's more like a soup. They're in like soup or a fruit punch. Yeah. Don't trust AI, folks. It's not that smart. It really ain't. It's not that clever. Right. I think we can stop now. We'll just do the animal stories. Should we do the animal stories? Okay. Let's go to the Big Cypress National Preserve in Florida. It's a Florida story where snake hunter Jake Walleri had his work cut out for him. And yeah, boy does he have his work cut out for him. This is a 19-foot Burmese python he's trying to take on. And you can tell it wants to eat him. It wants him. It's hungry. My goodness. Wow. And apparently, let's get the story up because we've got some more pictures. Because there is footage, but there's probably an advert. Video was taken at the Big Cypress National Preserve in Florida as Jake Walleri, a snake hunter, wrestles a 19-foot Burmese python. They say it's as big as a giraffe. And here they are. They managed to tape its jaws up, and it turns out to be the biggest python ever recorded. It was at 19 foot. It's a record breaker. So yeah, amazing. But yeah, the video is. Should we watch the video? See if there's an advert. Yeah, it is an advert. It's Kazoo again. Oh, there we go. It's a big old boy. He's trying to use a tiny little. Is that a little fly net? He's trying to get him. Not going to fit him in that. And the python's having none of it because he knows where he's ending up. He's going to have a pair of shoes and a bag. Oh, he's not having it. He's not happy. Oh, blimey! Look at that. See the strength of it. And then it's trying to wrap him up. Look, it's trying to do a death grip on him. And so his friend grabs a towel so it can't get a grip on him. That is just horrifying. You can see the power in its muscles. Because that's just all muscle there. Poor python. Couldn't they just let him go? He wasn't hurting anyone. And that's it. And that's how they caught him. They taped his jaws up. There you go. Ugh. So we can't end on that. That's a bit of a miserable story. But here we are. This is some photographs from the Comedy Pet Photo Awards. I didn't know there was one. And we've got some funny pics of animals. There's quite a few of them as well. Here we go. This is an Oscar, the Afghan greyhound. Oh, get the picture. Picture's too big. Picture's too big. This is called the Goalkeeper. Wow, and he's a good action shot there. He looks like he's doing yoga. I don't know what's going on there. Put it back in your mouth. He's hiding. He thinks he's hiding. Got the cat there. Peekaboo. That's a grumpy cat. He is flying. Look, he's actually flying off the ground. That toy. That's Barney the toy poodle. He's levitating. Oh, little dog and a mouse. That is the shadow from the rear view mirror, making him look like he's got a mask. Tasty. Edgar the tortoise. Same haircut. I like it. Yeah, I think he's the winner. He's already done doing the victory lap. Dogs are great. We're more dogs. He's the king of the cats. He's the boss. Top cat. Yeah, trust a border collie. That is border collie for you. Mad, bad, and dangerous to know they are. Oh, don't worry, we're nearly done. Oh, he's going to get you. He's coming to get you. And finish on the pussycat. There we go. So that's coffee time today. I hope you enjoyed it. Let's have a look if there's anybody in the chat room. We have 8 people in. Andrew's in. He says good morning. Well, it's afternoon now, isn't it? This is horrible weather here, windy and very rainy. Same here. AJ says going to jail for catcalling. You're going to get a fine, but it's good to know they've got their priorities right, because they think that catcalling leads to domestic violence. It doesn't. Renee says good afternoon, Darren. Good afternoon to you, Mr. Watermelon. He says the sun is shining and it's 22 degrees and no wind. Well, it's pretty murky out there. And Andrew says, reminds me of that Carry On film and the black fingernail. God, that's a flashback, isn't it? And G-Man's in. He said, good afternoon. Good afternoon to you, Sir G-Man. Are you enjoying your brunch again? Mix in with the oi polloi. And yeah, that was it. Thank you. Hopefully you enjoyed it today. Hopefully there was some fun stories in there. And we'll do this all again soon. Have a good weekend. That was the news. Killing the channel, one video at a time. You know you got a drink in, huh?